Hello, folks. I'm Ed Overstreet, and as you can see, I am imaging the sun live today, Tuesday, February the 5th, 2024, in Spartanburg, South Carolina, USA. Um, you're looking at a pretty active part of the sun, and if I raise the exposure, you're going to see that we've got some nice uh, views of some flaring going up on the limb of the sun. Um, both of these have been pretty impressive. They kind of quieted down a little bit. I'll take you outside, or not outside. I'll take you over to the Solar Dynamic Observatory and show you what's cooking over there. But this has been a pretty impressive and a kind of a complicated part of the sun. We've got three nice, really large spots, but this particular area of filaments is kicking off some flares, and I'm waiting to hear what Tamitha Scove has to say about this. She's our solar weather woman, and she predicts space weather, specifically from the sun, and gets it right more often than not. Actually does a better job than NASA in their estimations, at least so far. But the seeing conditions just really aren't very good. There's a couple of things going on in my backyard. One, the seeing is rated very poor, but the wind is causing some issues as well, and that's going to happen throughout the day. Um, and it's one of the clearest, bluest skies we've had so far this year. There is not a single threat of a cloud all day long, and it would be a perfect day to take a time lapse of this region. And there's another on the other side of the sun, on the west side of the sun. Actually, it's the northwest side. There's some nice flaring going on up there too, and there's not a lot of detail on the surface with my field of view to get both that flaring on the limb as well as spots and other filament type of movement. But again, the seeing conditions are bad, so I'm not planning on doing a time lapse at either part of the sun or region of the sun. But let me take you over there and show you. Actually, let's go here and let's go back and pick up this image, which is 3 minutes old. And and as you can see, we've got this part right here looking pretty. Actually, this is framed out, but this goes up much higher. You can't really see it, but this has been cropped out. And then this, of course, is where we're currently have the telescope aimed at this part right here. So if I were doing a time lapse, it would really be, I would use this section right here. So, but again, this is just a very active solar system we've got going on, and the sun is at the, I don't know where we are in the solar maximum, but I would say that we're probably peaked. I think the peak was supposed to be in 2025, but I don't know how much more active it could be than it is right now. And I'm thinking we've probably peaked, and we may be heading towards a more inactive sun, but that eventually will happen. I'm taking advantage of it. I'm 79 years old, and it'll be another 11 years before we pass into another solar maximum, so will I be here and will I be able to manage the observatory? Yeah, yeah, kind of hope so, but this may be it for Night Sky Imager. Hate to be morbid, but life's life, and that's the way things are. So we'll head back. Bring up the Solar Dynamic Observatory, and let's go to daily movies, and let's put in a date of today, and let's submit that, and let's go up here to 1700. Where are you? 1700, 1700, 1700, 1700 isn't up yet. Yeah, it is. There we go. That's kind of this kind of shows you what I'm talking about. This part right here where it's really active with flaring going on, and this is in the last 24 hours, and of course the last frame is where we are right now. And this is taken by the Solar Dynamic Observatory. There's a flare that popped up right here. You'll see it. There it goes. And we're losing to the far side some a pretty active region here, and then up here is where the flaring's taking place. Let's close this out, and let's bring up 171. Here we go. And this is what we're seeing on the limb of the sun right now. And then, of course, this is that part that's acting up on the northwest region. It's north, south, west, east over here. So pretty cool. These are those spots. And again, this is one reason why I'm kind of fascinated. I think if scene conditions were better and I did a time lapse, I'm thinking that would be, yeah, I want to see something else. If I've got this weather, let's see, I don't want that one. Let's see if it's clear air. Nah. Trying to find a weather app that I use that tells me what the jet stream is. I bet our jet stream is nuts. But we got winds at 17, 14, 12 miles an hour. Well, I'll have to find that. I've got a weather app that I use all the time, and I can't remember the name of it, that gives me the jet stream speed. I don't think it's atmospheric. No. At any rate, we'll head back out, and I'm going to. I think it's pointless to try to get some captures. I'm going to go ahead and take a capture of this right now, but I think it's pointless to do a time lapse. So I'm not. But let's go ahead and make sure I've got the right hard drive loaded for these pictures. And I don't have it. I don't even remember if I connected it or not. Yeah, I did. And so let's make a new folder. 2524. Last time I used this hard drive was last year. And then I sent my quark chromosphere off to have it fixed. Okay, there we are. Always make sure you apply or it won't happen. So this is going to be with the quirk, and so let's take 500 frames. And let's process that. Bring up auto stacker and we'll analyze. Again, I'm using that laptop that I use for solar. It's not a good laptop to use for processing because it's just it's good for what I'm using it for, but not for processing. Very slow. I don't know what processor it has, but Noah stopped using it on the Ark because it was so slow. Yeah, it's supposed to be funny. This will go reasonably fast, and once we pick our reference points and set the percentage, the quality graph points to roughly 50% of the frames in this video are better than, are in the top 50%, and half are in the bottom. This line crosses about, this is 25, 50, 75. So this line crosses at about 10%. So I have about 10% of my files, frames in this video, are in the top 25%. So I'm just going to pick 20%, save 20% of 500 or 250 and stack them. So let's place a grid. I'm going to use a reference point. They're going to be 104 pixels by 104 pixels, these boxes. And I'll place the grid, and we're going to let it run. And in the meantime, we're going to check out the rest of the sun. The scene's so bad it looks like we're underwater. You just can't get good images when you're dealing with an atmosphere this crazy, wild, and turbulent. I think it's about here that we have, let's move this over here. Let's see, let's raise this up about, yeah. There's the flares. So I wish we had some well, it doesn't matter because I'm not doing a time lapse, but if there were, this would be a nice place to image, provided we had some remarkable features acting up on the surface, because the limb activity is really cool. And if you did a time lapse, you might look into getting some good stuff going on here. Hey, Corn, how you doing, my friend? But it isn't, and it isn't, and it's not going to. So we'll continue going around the sun here. what is this thing? That's nuts looking. This is kind of a discolorated area. Well, it's going away now, but that just developed and went away. Wow. Wonder what happened. Oh, now we got a spot showing up and a flare. Let's sit and watch this a minute. Maybe something crazy wild will happen here. But you can tell by the lack of detail on the sun that scene just really isn't helping us today. I'm a little bit too overexposed, so I'm going to drop this down a little bit. And see if I can bring out some better contrast, and I can't. Yeah. Yeah, it's gotten larger and it's a little more pronounced. Corn, are you still in Barbados? Or are you back in London? Yeah, this has really started acting up. I'll have to come back and visit that. Let's go on and continue our I think what it is just computer artifacts is what that discoloration was, because I can see it acting up there. Yeah, that's what it is. But this reel right here, this is a real active part, big time. I'm going to switch cameras and I'm going to raise the exposure a little. We're going out to the Solar Scout. My Wi-Fi is what's causing these. I'm just going to shut this off, and then I'm going to bring it back up again. While I'm on this, I'm going to sync the sun. Okay, let's bring up. Get rid of some of those artifacts. I went out and took some flats. Well, I went out and blew off the sensor, and kind of cleaned up the Solar Scout. And I thought I had it oriented correctly, but this actually needs to be rotated down to about here. But I've already taken flats and I'm applying them right now, so it is what it is. but I'm going to, wrong way, reposition this a little bit. This is a full disk of the sun taken with the Solar Scout. I've got two kits connected, one on top of the other. And the Solar Scout is also made by Daystar. It is a 60 millimeter refractor. It has the quark chromosphere attached. Daystar says it's not exactly a quark chromosphere, but it looks exactly like one. And then I have a tilt adapter that I did buy through Daystar. It is extremely well made. And I have a ZWO 1600, ASI 1600 camera, monochrome camera, that I use basically for deep sky, but I like the images I get. Oh, back in London. Okay. Yep, it's getting close, the solar eclipse. Yeah, I've got to go rotate this, and then I'll have to retake flats. Let's go back out. Well, actually, let's see what AutoStacker has done. I didn't run this, did I? I just placed a grid. Well, doo-doo. Got to go do that now. All right, now we'll change cameras. And we were back here looking at this part of the sky. Oh, look at the scene conditions. They're just terrible. They usually get it right. And you'll see when I process this image, it is done good. But I wanted to check it out anyway. I wanted to check the sun out. Let's see if the flares are, yeah. Almost like spiculas. There, it's shot up and that's arcing over. Here's a spicula getting ready to do the same thing. But that's 30,000, 40, 50,000 feet high, 100,000 feet. I'm guessing. Don't know. Let's see where AutoStacker is. I'm going to process this. We're finished. So I'm going to bring up IMPPG. And we'll load this up. Let's see here. And see what I can do with it. Let's bring up curves. And we'll set an anchor point right there. And let's drag this now about there. And let's bring this over. And let's go up to 1.5 and about 1.2 and 2.4. Deconvolution. And that's it. I still got some dust right here. And that would be about as good as I would be able to get. But with good seeing, this could be such a good picture. Okay, well, I am not spending really any more time. I want to check one thing. Later on this afternoon, I don't know how much daylight I have when seeing conditions go to bad, from poor to bad. That would be around 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock. And between 2 and 3, I'm going to get some improved seeing. I have between 3, I can image up to 4 o'clock, but then the sun falls behind a neighbor's tree, and that becomes, even though there aren't any leaves on it, I can image to it, but I don't like to. Tomorrow, I've got more clear skies, and I'm going to have some decent seeing right around transit. So I probably won't be doing a time lapse because at transit's at 12:40. If I had 2 hours, I might get some in. I probably will be out though checking it out tomorrow, and then Thursday and from then on we're back to normal winter weather. But goodness gracious, would have been nice to have had some decent seeing. I did image last night, and I plan on imaging again tonight, and I'll have average seeing tonight when I image. But I'm leaving town tomorrow. I can't do anything tomorrow. So there's that. There's my YouTube. Just want to know what that big old message was. Okay, let's head back out, take one last look, and I will catch you guys the next time. It'll be a week. I'll be back next Wednesday, flying back next Tuesday. So I'll see you guys next week. Hope you all have a great clear sky area of your sky, and talk to you later. Can't find my